Welcome in. Peace unto you. Welcome in. Today we are going to be speaking about crystals and manifestation. Utilizing crystals properly, utilizing manifestation properly. Primarily crystals and manifestation. If you are seeking some information in regards to any other part of the so-called spiritual path, and allow yourselves to flourish with questions in a apparent sense, but primarily what we're going to be focused on is crystals and manifestation. Today's going to be a very good one. Very, very good. You know, they say in psychology, to learn is to experience repetition. So whatever is repetitive in your primary reality, that is what is subconsciously going to be nested within your essence, within your reality, and that will flourish and materialize itself. So primarily, if you are on the spiritual path, if you want to get on the spiritual path, if you need to get on the spiritual path, if you see it as serving to get on the spiritual path, then know that today's live is going to be about crystals and manifestation. Now, a lot of people, they are interested in manifestation, but guess what? Most people don't know how to manifest, actually, especially as it pertains to currency. So what we're going to do is provide you with all of this information. And if this information serves for you, please DM us 33 and we will give you our free 3-day course. Because if you aren't willing to dedicate at least 3 days with God, why are you trying to even dive deep into spirituality to begin with? For the foundation, it has to be the source. And from that 3-day course that you will get for free by DMing me 33, you will have access to join the mystery school. You can click the link in the bio. You'll be able to see all the links. You'll clearly see the mystery school. Second semester is very, very soon. Wink, wink. And oh yes, we're very grateful. So make sure you like the live. Make sure you share the live. As a introduction for those that are new, because you know TikTok primarily and YouTube as well, primarily focus on, you know, new people. Peace unto you. My name is Nadiie Black. I am of the Seeker tribe, Native American. That translates into Blackfoot. We're very grateful. I'm a medicine man, initiated at the age of 7 years old, initiated as a medicine man in the tribe of Seeker at 7 years old. Elders in the astral realms taught me many, many things. Some things I'll share in the public, some things I will not. But as a youngin, from 7 to 13, I was constantly astral projecting every single night. And then when I was 13, I watched a video on YouTube, and it was this video of a person named Ryan Cropper. You can look it up right now. If you type in Ryan Cropper, how to astral project, it's the most popular video on his channel. I watched that same one at 13, figured out what I've been doing since 7 to 13 has been astral projecting. I was afraid of the dark as a child, not necessarily because of the darkness, you know, that's just a label, being afraid of the dark. I was more so in fear of the unknown, for I did not know what the experience I was experiencing was even called, because astral projection, that term wasn't coined at that time, so like widely and popularly. So I didn't know what was happening until I watched that video, and then bam, my first trying out that technique in that video, I astral projected on command. And I was like, yo, this is what I've been doing since I was a kid this entire time. That's crazy. And then I met a lot of beings, and you know, here we are today. So that's a little intro of who I am. So you know, very, very serious about what we do. A little tidbit on medicine men are and medicine women. In native tribes, what we consider to be a medicine man in the American sense would be a mixture of like a pastor, a doctor, and like a psychologist. For you'll go through the elders, the channels of the elders, go into their lodge, go into their tribe, go into their TP, go into their office, or what have you. You'll get information and guidance. And if your case was that of like metaphysics, then they can give you some information, but they say go to your dedicated medicine man, because in every single Native American tribe there were a medicine man or medicine woman a part of the family. Nowadays it's very, very rare, because medicine men were the ones that were said to perform the the feats of the mysteries and things of that nature. But now it's very far and few. You can go to a Native American reservation and you'll be surprised if you even see one medicine man, because spirituality has left the culture as a primary sense. And it's because we have to adjust to how America's laws are, because we have to make sure we fight for our survival, as they say. So as we dive deep into that, that's a little information on what a medicine man is and who I am. Remember, today we're going to be speaking of crystals and manifestation. So if any of you seen the title of today, of our lives and all of the lives in the future, is going to be sovereignty. So the lessons that we're going to be teaching is sovereignty. So the forms and modalities and techniques that we will give for you all shall be ones that give you a multitude of pathways of remembrance, a multitude of pathways of remembrance. So the techniques that we shall provide, don't limit them in any particular way. And by that we mean, just because one form of technique says it's good for one particular thing, do not limit it to thinking it's only due to this and specifically for that. Make sure you keep it all broad, because the source is broad. The source is ever expansive, the God of all things, as some say. It's infinite. So we, as spiritual masters, have to approach that divine law within all things of our day-to-day lives. Infinity. And I understand certain humans, most of them, don't understand the complexities or can even fathom what infinity is. So, of course, most people can't fathom what God is, because if I say count and I never say stop, humans don't have patience, perfect patience, in fact. So they will still be like, okay, when do I stop counting? And I say, never. Keep counting. That's infinity. And that's like an easier way for you to understand it. So understand that the techniques that we shall give for you are infinite. And you must know these things, because this isn't no new age type of thing. We have mystery schools and much history type of knowledge. We have much galactic type of knowledge. We have, much spiritual type of knowledge. And as you were going into the mystery schools in ancient Kemet, you had to be in such alignment of perfect patience. Right now we're in an actual class, of course. Right now, this is a master teaching, just as the Essenes taught Yeshua in the land called Qumran. So y'all must have patience. Just like when you go to school, that class, 30 minutes. And just like when you go to college, you don't tell that professor, hey, yo, get to the test, because we don't know the material. You have to treat it as such. Treat spirituality, treat God as such. Like, okay, I'm ready to learn. So make sure you get your notebooks. Make sure you get your etheric notebooks if you heed my call and say, don't rely on physical objects. And in our school, in our mystery school, do not rely on physical objects. Use the ethers. The ethers is a thought form realm. Use the ethers. Ether just basically means thought form energy. So you can literally visualize. When you visualize something, you're putting thought into it. Don't imagine, never imagine, only visualize. There's a big difference between imagination and visualization. If you, right now, I'm going to tell you the difference right now. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to do a little technique. All of y'all participate. Look around, literally turn your head, look around your environment, find something that is an object, a table, a chair, what have you. Look at that object. Just look at it. Right now I'm looking at the camera stand. Look at the object. Look at it, look at it. What is the object? In your mind, state what the object is. Do not bring description. Don't say this object is for this and this object is like this. No, just what is the object? Is it a table? Is it a TV stand? What is it? Now slowly close your eyes, still repeating the name of that object. Close your eyes very slowly. Very slowly. I mean like very slowly. Still keeping that name of that object in your mind. What is that object? See that object still. If you close your eyes slowly, you will still see remnants of that object, whatever that you chose. Visualization in its infancy stage would be you not visualizing the environment, but you're just visualizing the object that you were saying. People that get good at visualization, they don't even need to close their eyes slowly. They can just close their eyes and I still see my house. The walls, I know where the walls is. It's really easy to practice on your visualization when you're in the dark, pitch black. So try at nighttime later on. Try at nighttime later on in your house or the area that you're comfortable in. And if you can't see nothing, but you still know where everything is, you're unintentionally, subconsciously practicing visualization, because you have to visualize the thing that you do not see. Oh, I know the wall's right there, so I gotta move over to the right. That's visualization. And most people are practicing spiritual techniques, but they don't know it consciously. So it's our job as masters to bring the awareness of victories to the masses. This is how the collective consciousness has gotten to a point where now sacred geometry is outside of temples being guarded in the day-to-day public life. This is how, spiritual forms of modalities is all in the public, and now almost spirituality is becoming a trend. It's because people are unintentionally, subconsciously practicing gifts and techniques that we have been teaching years and years and years and years. So, right now, before we dive super deep into this, I need you also to understand there's a disclaimer between all of this, right? And as a master, and this goes for all of the ones that claim to be a student or a master, because this is information you must know when you're on the spiritual path, and you must heed this. Thoth said it, Buddha said it, Yeshua said it, Nadiie said it, which is me. It's called mysteries for a reason. Spiritual schools is called mystery schools for a reason. Mysterious, okay? Mysterious. There are things that's going to be hidden, but it's only hidden to the people that aren't willing to look and seek for it. And the reason for this is in this world of duality. In this world of duality, you have beings that manipulate energy. Now, energetic manipulation in and of itself is not bad. Energetic manipulation in and of itself is not bad. When you manifest, you're energetically manipulating. Manipulation in and of itself is not bad. It's what you do with it. When you manifest, for example, currency is assigned with souls, because the only way you get money in this dimension is through another person. So you're energetically manipulating that person's life to now be steered in your direction for them to give you the money. When you manifest a happy day, when you manifest anything, when you materialize anything, when you use any modality of spirituality, you are energetically manipulating in totality. And this is what we all must understand. Energetic manipulation is like at the first level, aside from the foundation of how you should approach any spiritual modality. Now make sure you get your notes, you start to write these things down if it serves for you to write it down. Now, before we dive deep into this, what we're going to do is take a very deep breath and do some breathing modalities. Everyone has to be in unison. And what you also must understand about the mysteries is I may do certain things. If you say, like, why is he doing this, or why is he doing this, or why did he double back to this, or why, I am going to be doing something that we call as masters weeding, because it's mystery. I don't need 750 people here if only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people gonna listen, or plus. So as a master, this is something that you must heed. And as a person that is a student of spirituality, you must heed as well. If you are in a position to where you have a lot of people that are willing to listen to you, you have to be sure the people that you're teaching the spirituality to are actually going to use the information. Because if they do not use the information, you're literally going to be dying down the consciousness of the collective. That's what's going to happen. If you give spiritual information and that information just falls on deaf ears and nobody does it except for you, remember, even if you do it, it's good. But when you get in a role of teaching, you have to make sure you're giving it to people that are actually going to apply it. That's why primarily I tell people becoming is the way. Being it. Don't just talk about Jesus. Be like Yeshua. Live like it. Stop talking. We're done talking. So when I do certain things that you may like bring an eye to or a question to, understand I'm weeding out. Even right there, right now, I'm weeding out. Because the people that are supposed to be here, they know what's going on. I'm going to stay into the end because I'm in a class right now. The people that have short attention spans, or the people that aren't actually going to listen to this information, all they're going to do is like the video and then still argue with their girlfriend, or just like the video and still be a menace out in the streets. I don't want you in the live, nor need you, nor does it serve for you to be here. So leave now. I don't care if it's one person in here, as long as that one person can guarantee to me that it will apply this information, good. Because remember, Jesus was one person. Because remember, Buddha was one person. Because remember, Malcolm X was one person. Because remember, Martin Luther was one person. All I need is one person. And that's how you should approach it. When I started the mystery school up, when Source gave me the information to say, listen, start the mystery school up. Go on Patreon, start it up, make the 3-day course, make sure the 3-day course is free, get everybody's energies right, make sure they take the 3-day course before they join, even though they have the access to join, tell them spiritual integrity. Yes, you can join before you do the 3-day course, but spiritual integrity. Do the 3-day course, then go download the Patreon app and join. We do all of these processes to make sure and ensure that the people that is going to listen to spirituality, the teachings that you give, are going to apply it. Yeshua, when I was learning from that being, I seek to understand what my dreams mean. Kelsey, oh, I like that. Keep that in mind, Kelsey. We're in the beginning of the disclaimer, but keep that in mind. And I'm going to remember as much as I can. See, what we must understand is Yeshua, for example, he gave me a vision when I was learning how to be a Christ, because I'm a Christ being, if you haven't already recognized, even from numerology, 010101 is my birthday, the stars of when that time was going on and how my life was raised and how I even got in this position and how I'm able to perform this and show people how to do this and this. I didn't really understand anything that was going on, but it got to a point where I started to flirt with, it was around the time I started to flirt with my native heritage, started to speak in my language, say native prayers in the language and stuff like that. And when you speak in certain languages, certain frequencies are emitted, and I attracted Yeshua itself in the astral realms. Now, what you also must understand about these beings is people have such a limited perspective of spirituality, especially ascended masters, because they think Christ is the limit. It is not. Because you can't say in one breath that God is infinite and then say, oh, yeah, Christ is it. Yes. You know, there's something higher than Christ. Christ is it on earth. Once you become a Christ on earth, that's the peak on earth. But remember, there's more than earth. So Jesus is not a Christ anymore. Well beyond that. Buddha consciousness is the same thing as Christ consciousness. He's not a Buddha. Buddha's not a Buddha anymore. Way beyond it now. That is so old. You know how long ago, thousands of years ago, there was Christ and Buddhas. Thousands of years ago. They are way beyond that. There's a form of consciousness that you can't even fathom if you become a Christ. That's how high they are. And they still say, for example, Jesus, for example, John 14:12, you shall do what I do and greater works than I. So it doesn't matter how high he gets on the totem pole, as you may call it, still says that you're going to be better than him. So remember that. Remember, you can look it up in your own religions right now. John 14:12. You're like, dang, Jesus said that? Yes, Jesus said that. But people don't talk about that. Pastors don't talk about that because they don't want responsibility. They don't ever want to ever fathom like they can be better than Jesus, even though Jesus himself said, you're destined by prophecy supposed to be better than me, because I of myself cannot say I'm the best, because God is infinite. There is no best. There is no worse, because everything keeps going. So you understand that and heed that call. So I was listening to Yeshua. As the time I was understanding what I was, and I didn't know what it meant to be a Christ. I thought I had to be like Yeshua. So I was dressing like him, walking like him, but I was performing the same miracles he was performing and all of that. And I was like, it doesn't feel right. And then since I was emitting the frequency, Yeshua came to me and was like, listen, we already been there, done that, essentially. Been there, done that. Do something different. Make it make sense in such a way for all people to understand what's going on. I was doing the same miracles as Jesus. Believe me or not, believe me or so. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I did it. There's nothing to prove. I still didn't feel right within me. So the way Ascended Masters operate, they don't just teach you. So if I astral project, that's how I was able to meet the being. When I was astral projecting and Yeshua came, well, one, they don't talk with them. No Ascended Master, no master in the astral realms talk with their mouth, period. It's all telepathic communication. If a master is posing as someone else, or if someone else is posing as the master, what have you, and they talk with their mouth, immediately walk away. A little trick, this is a little trick. So remember, write down anything that you think will serve. But remember, get your notes together, your etheric notebook, and write it down in the ethers or on a physical paper. Each teacher can interpret the higher world as a higher joy to people who can't see it yet. Very interesting. One thing, if you see a master and you don't really know for sure, ask it his name 3 times. There's a divine law in regards to the asking of a name 3 times. Even, what's their name? Priests? Yeah, priests. The people that are in like the Catholic Church. It's priests, yeah. When they perform exorcism, like priests, they're actually way more powerful, like the actual priests, not just the people that claim to be a priest. Like the actual priests are way more powerful, especially with exorcism. So there's a library of all recorded angel names. Like these beings know how to astral project. I can send you declassified CIA government documents, the CIA.gov website, declassified documents about astral projection. This is something that has been taught and is like widely known. I'm not exaggerating. If you DM me, if you want to call me out, DM me and I'll just give you the documents. Ain't nobody lying about nothing. And even if you don't want to call me out, you're just interested, DM me and I'm going to give you the documents. Because if you try to take the government to spiritual court, they're going to be like, no, we said what the truth was. We just didn't publicize it. And you'd be like, But yeah, they declassified a lot of spiritual information that they teach to their operatives, including these priests and stuff. Because where do you think they learned it from? The church is in, religion's back pocket, and religion is in the government's back pocket. So these priests have a name of every recorded angel and every recorded demon, and there's a name for a demon that is in alignment with the name of an angel. So there's always, whatever demon name that presents itself, there's always an angel name to counteract it. So how you perform exorcisms in its more traditional, so I'm really giving y'all the sauce right now. I usually say this type of stuff for the actual mystery school, but because of that disclaimer in the live, I don't like when the numbers jump too high. I don't like when too many people come in here and stuff like that. I don't like fickle activity. That's why, like, if the numbers start getting too high in the live, I may veer off into a different conversation and just kind of like talk about something else to weed the ones that's like fickle out. I need the people that's really going to like, oh, snaps. Remember, in the mystery schools, there's only a small amount of people in the mystery schools because you had to be accepted. But, yeah, that's the traditional way of performing an exorcism. You would find out the name of the energy, because possession isn't real. So people don't even know what exorcism really even is. Possession isn't real. Influence is real. So nothing can ever possess you. So if you are ever scared of astral projection because you think somebody's going to jump in your body, it's literally not possible. It's not possible. So whoever told you that, they just lied bold-faced. Because possession is a real. Influence is, though. So you could be influenced by a being. And remember, these beings are smart. So if they know they of themselves look kind of crazy, like because they're coming from a different dimension, so they know human eyes may appear anything other than human monstrosities, they will appear as spiritual leaders. So you have a lot of false. That's where the term false god comes from. The term false god isn't because of someone claiming to be a god. No, it's not the physical version of that manifestation that's producing these titles from vocalization that are considered to be, fallacies or a false god. It's the influence behind it. What is the influence behind it? There's always an etheric-like or astral-like being behind the manipulation of people, especially spiritually. So a way to counteract this is to find out his name. So if I was a priest and your daughter, for example, needed to get an exorcism, okay, my first go, and I performed an exorcism before in the astral realms. It's not fun, but I've done it. First thing I would do is, okay, what are the symptoms? Oh, the symptoms that, well, this is this, oh, this is this. I'm gonna be just very stereotypical right now. Foaming at the mouth, this is this. Very, irregular with speech and all of that. Okay, cool. Then I'll go through the process, make sure my energy is in a dominant sense. So I'm not gonna dive too deep into that. We're gonna save that for the mystery school of how to shift your energy to be dominant. The best way I can explain it, though, through visualization is if you watch Dragon Ball Z, there's a specific scene where Goku was teaching the two boys how to do a fusion dance. And Trunks' energy was higher than Goku's kid. And Trunks had to lower his energy to make sure the energies match. Well, the modality of raising and lowering your frequency is essentially where I'm getting at as it pertains to being dominant. But you never want to be too dominant. You want to be just dominant enough. And if you want to know more about that, make sure you dive deep into mystery school. But if I was doing an exorcism, all right, cool. Make sure my energy is dominant enough, because you have to be in a commander-like energy. Because remember, there's no such thing as a demon. There are beings that are in the astral realms and the etheric realms that don't have to listen, So you have to make sure your energy is dominant. So then you ask it its name 3 times. I will ask the being its name. For example, and I'm gonna give you this example. The daughter needs the exorcism. I went through the symptoms, figured out, okay, this is more so a etheric-like being rather than an astral-like being. The difference is how we can spot the difference between an etheric and an astral being. An etheric being is a being full of thoughts. It doesn't actually exist. So it's going to be basically a caricature. Etheric-like beings are caricatures. They're overly dark. They're overly evil. They appear to be overly good. Like, they're caricatures. Yes. We love you, Ali. And thank you, Divine, for liking the live. Make sure everybody likes the live and share the live. So I can tell when there's an etheric being and when there's an astral being influencing someone. Because if they're overly something, oh, that's an etheric being. Because you're just like a caricature. An astral being, for example, that's influencing, like, for example, if you had the Anunnaki, or, for example, let's say you had a deity. Let's say you had one of, like, an egotistical deity. There's something called avatars. And what an avatar is, if an avatar is basically the right-hand man of a deity, but it's never good to be an avatar, because that's essentially meaning you're a slave to the deity. So I can tell when there's a astral being, because deities are astral. You have ethers and you have astral. Everything is either ethers, which is the thought form realm, so enough people thought it, therefore it's so. Or then you have astral beings that are actually existing and materialize themselves to be so. An astral influence is much harder to weed out of a being's influence rather than an etheric-like being. Because the astral-like being actually exists somewhere. Etheric-like being, all I have to do is put enough thought energy into the counteracting, and then it just disappears because, oh my gosh, your power is too much. Your power level is over 9,000, So what I would do is ask his name 3 times in this example of the daughter. And what would happen is the name that it would give me the first 2 times, because usually what happens is on the 3rd time, they give me the real name. But on the first 2 times, it'll be a fake name, right? So I'll be like, what is your name? My name is Jesus. What is your name? My name is Jesus. What is your name? My name is, and it'll be a different name. And I was like, Okay, we found that name. So as a priest, remember, the real priest, not the one that claimed to be priest. The real priest, they would say, okay, we got his name. This name is, and names are powerful. That's why I'm bleeping it out. So its name is, all right, let's go into angels. Oh, okay, Raphael, that's the opposite of this demon. Cool. Raphael. So we invoke. The thing what people think about invoking, you don't just say the name Raphael like you're a Ninja Turtle. Like, no, that's not how exorcisms work. People they don't believe the movies. You don't call the name Raphael. You call the frequency of it, the energetic signature, because names are energetic signatures. So Raphael as a name has an energetic signature. So we become Raphael, and then we deal with that. So we will look at what does Raphael represent. Okay, Raphael represents this, maybe this intellect over here, maybe not too bronze, way more brain. Okay, boom, boom, that's Raphael. Okay, I have to make sure I talk like this. I have to make sure I operate like this. I have to become that frequency. And when I become that frequency, then if need be, I can invoke the name Raphael, invoking that word, very specific. Then if I want to perform the exorcism, I can invoke the name. And then after I became, though, but you never invoke anything before you become. That's not how it works. But that's a little tidbit on that. Let's see where this class is going to go. But remember, the still overall theme of all of this is manifestation and how to properly utilize crystals. Very, very important that we're talking about all of this. But remember what we said before. We got to make sure we weed the beings out. I don't like the live number jumping too much and then going down and going up and going out. I need it to be stabilized. When I see that it's stabilized, I know, okay, these are the beings that God sent to me to make sure that we get this class going on. When the number starts jumping high and low, all right, God, let's bring me a new topic, not the real topic because it's a mystery school. Bring me a real topic, another real topic, because everything is going to be real, but we're not going to get to the deep stuff until it's stabilized. That's what you must also heed when you go out and teaching, especially in technology, especially if you're teaching spiritual information. You want that live number to be stabilized, because that means everybody that's here know this is an actual class. When you go to your high school, when you go to your college, you're not just walking up and leaving when you just get tired because of your attention span being so freaking down in the dirt, in the mud. So now that it's stabilized, let's continue on with what we're speaking of. We're going to take a very, very deep breath, okay? On the count of 3. Dang, it just jumped a little bit. I'm like, whoa. Well, that just tell me because it jumped like that, that means people were watching the live but didn't click on it yet. So they clicked on it. So thank you for actually clicking on it. On the count of 3, we're going to take a very deep breath. I'm not going to give you any control on how the breath is going to be. Just breathe as deeply as you possibly can. Make sure you hold your breath after your inhale, and make sure when you exhale, you sink your stomach in. If your stomach is out like this on your inhale, make sure it's like that on its exhale. If your stomach is out like this on its inhale, make sure it's sunken in on its exhale, all right? The first one is going to be free reign. The second and the third one, I'm going to give you a breathing technique. All right, so on the count of 3, everybody breathe as deeply as you possibly can. Hold your breath after the inhale and then sink your stomach in on the exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Now, everybody that is here, close your eyes. Close your eyes. After that inhale, close your eyes. What are you thinking? Focus on the type of thoughts that are coming in your mind. What are you thinking? Because we have to make sure we clear all of this out before we dive deep. We're going to do some very, very interesting things. I'm gonna treat this very, very securely. So make sure your eyes are closed. What are you thinking? Think about your day, thinking about what you did yesterday, thinking about what you're doing right now, thinking about, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What are you thinking about? Thinking about food, sun on my face. Ooh, I love that place. What are you thinking about? Keep your eyes closed and focus on what you're thinking about. When you focus on what you're thinking about enough, you are able to retire it because you know. Remember, and even in psychology, it tells us you're not able to solve a problem without first acknowledging that it's there. So we're not going to deem this as a problem, your thoughts. But what we are going to do is acknowledge their presence. And once we see our thoughts, I'm talking about when you see thoughts, there actually are words underneath the thought. And this is something that's taught in like visualization workshops. This technique that I'm going to give you is going to improve on visualization. Every technique that I'm going to give you thus far, make sure you write them down in your etheric notebook because your eyes are closed. Make sure you keep your eyes closed. Because your eyes are closed, only use that etheric light notebook. So even if you was writing on paper at first, heed my words, even if you was writing on paper at first, visualize that notebook paper and visualize everything that you wrote. Keep your eyes closed. Now remember, each thought that comes in your mind, it may look like an image, but it's really words underneath it. If you're able, letter by letter, to create the words, and if it's like, oh, well, what if I'm having a thought about me walking? Then just visualize the letters M-E space W-A-L-K-I-N-G and hold it. If you're able to visualize a word and hold that word and look at that word, so practice that. So with one of your first, if you can't remember your first because you've been closing your eyes for, quite a few seconds, remember the most recent thought that appears. Hello, I was definitely thinking about walking down this ancient path. That's why you said that. Hey, enough said. So as your eyes are closed, and it's okay if you want to open your eyes and then close them again to, go get back into it. What are you thinking was the first thought or the most recent thought? If you are able to visualize letter by letter, don't try to visualize words all at once. Remember how we even write words. We write words letter by letter. So do it the exact same way in the ethers. Right now, you are literally in the ethers. It's that simple and that easy to get in the ethers. By my name, I confirm everyone that closes their eyes thus forth are now in the ethers. For the ethers is a thought form realm. So as you close your eyes, keep them closed. Now don't open them. The moment you close them, keep them closed. The thoughts that come forth, visualize letter by letter, and don't use too much mental energy. Don't try to make paragraphs because you want to flex to yourself. Try to make a short sentence, 2-word, 3-word, 4-word sentence. Try to summarize with one sentence what you're seeing. The first thought that comes up, is it walking? Is it you sitting down? Is it what you're doing currently? I gave you an example. If it was walking, 2 words, M-E space, walking. You spell it out. So do that technique right now to improve on your visualization because we're going to need it. Because if you can visualize a word and hold it. Now, don't just visualize it and let it wisp away. You must use your remaining mental energy, etheric body as well, to hold that word based on your thought. Because all thoughts, even though they appear as images, there are words underneath them. So do that now. Some people didn't know. Excuse me. Everybody keep your eyes closed. Continue to do the technique. Excuse me, but what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I need you to tune in and figure it out. Remember, we're in a mystery school. If you were here in the beginning, then you know what's going on. If you are just catching on to see what's happening, all I want to say is close your eyes and tune in. Close your eyes and tune in. It's a mystery school. The same school that Jesus was in when he was being taught how to raise the dead and perform alchemy and stuff. He didn't just know those things. It was taught to him by the Essenes. We're in a mystery school right now. So tune in, close your eyes, and all will be revealed. If you have any questions about what we're doing right now, close your eyes. Don't talk to me. Go to God. Close your eyes. Go to the source. Close your eyes. Keep them closed. Tune in. Those that were already here, You know what the lesson is as of right now. Hold that visualization. Now I'm going to participate with you. Remember, this is how you raise the collective consciousness, when all of us come together in unison to do one thing. Insert topic. Then we move to the next thing. Insert topic. When we do it in unison, we raise the frequency. Now my eyes are closed. Keep your eyes closed. Students and masters alike, keep your eyes closed. Hold that visualization. If you don't want to do a big word because it uses too much energy, do very short words. In the example, use the first word I gave you. It's a 2-letter word. If you can hold that, good. You're practicing visualization. This is going to be a little akin to what a workshop is, and y'all are very, very in alignment. Not lucky, very in alignment, because y'all just got a free workshop. After this workshop, A.K.A. Lesson of Sovereignty, make sure you heed these calls. Remember as much as you possibly can, because when you leave today's class, you're going to be so far along on this path. And make sure if you aren't a part of the mystery school, you DM me 33. I'm going to give you our free 3-day course, because if you aren't willing to implement at least 3 days with God, why are you trying to even go into spirituality? After this 3-day course, then you'll be able to click the link in the bio and join the mystery school. Yes, you have the capability of clicking the link in the bio and joining the mystery school before you complete the 3-day course, but I call spiritual integrity. Spiritual integrity is what is going to allow people to not just join the mystery school before doing the 3-day course. And if you so happen to join the mystery school without doing the 3-day course, you're going to have a very hard time. All right. Alrighty. All right, everybody can open their eyes now. Everybody can open their eyes now. All right. So good. I felt a lot of energy as I was holding the frequency with you. I need everybody to really focus on what they're seeing right now. What are you seeing? What is this tapestry? I need you to focus. I need you to... I need you to focus. I need you to not blink as much. All right, stop blinking. Stop blinking as much. I see you. You was blinking too much. Make sure your blinks are prolonged. I need you to really focus. You know how to focus and unfocus your eyes? I need you to all listen to my voice. You know how you focus and unfocus your eyes? You know how you can intentionally make your eyes blurry and then intentionally focus them back as if you're a camera lens? I need you to do that with your first eye. It's actually not your third eye, it's your first eye, for the body came second, not first. I need you to do that with your first eye. I need you to unblur your vision from your first eye and see what is in front of you. Well, how do I do that, Nadiie? Well, good question. We're in the ethers, the thought form realm, so I can hear your thoughts. How you unfocus and refocus your first eye is by acknowledging what you see. And if your acknowledgement of what you see is a divine law or divine truth, or just a truth because the truth itself is divine and divination, then you're slowly decalcifying your pineal gland. Enough truth decalcifies your pineal gland. I need you to heed these calls now and heed these words intensely. No modality on earth is the source of decalcification of the pineal gland. No modality on earth is the source of decalcification of the pineal gland. Truth is. And truth is no modality. Truth is just the truth. You don't need to be Buddha or Jesus in order to be enlightened. There are homeless people that are far more spiritual than them. And even they were homeless, they just called it a different word, nomads. Because home is where the heart is. Remember, truth is what will set you free. Not a technique, not a long meditation, not even visualization. Truth is what will set you free. That is it. Right now, I need you to all focus on what you're seeing right now. Intensely look at it. When I say look at it, I mean, wow. In your brain, be like, wow, okay, that's a circle. That's another circle. Oh, that's another circle. Oh, that's another circle. Oh, that's another circle. I need you to inspect and analyze what you are seeing right now. Don't focus on commenting. Don't focus on liking the live. Don't focus on sharing the live right now. Don't even focus on the technology, the device in your hand. Focus on the geometry. See, in what humans would consider land of old, in ancient mystery schools, the technique that I'm going to bestow upon you all is a very, very interesting and intense one. Some people make it through, some people don't make it through. The pattern is breathing, the flower of life. You're close. This will be considered the seed, not the flower. This will be considered the seed. But guess what? The seed and the flower are the same. That's something that a lot of people don't know. Now you know. Intensely focus on this pattern, because long ago, what we understood and taught in mystery schools, and a lot of you actually are completing your soul agreement with me. A lot of you here are completing your soul agreement with me. Because we was in the same class. I was a teacher of the Essenes, to put it frankly. So we was in the same class, and long, long ago, we decided to continue this mission when the consciousness has raised enough. And then there was a mass disbanding of mystery schools, because we had to wait for the consciousness to raise again before we restarted them up. Kind of like how mass floods happened. I need you to look at this, or want you to look at this, or see it as serving for you to look at this, whatever terminology serves for you. Look at this geometry. Analyze each circle, how it's constructed. You must know how to make these, because now you have to start learning how to visualize sacred geometry. Interconnection of the divine flow. You must be able to visualize sacred geometry. That's why you must inspect it. Long ago, beings were considered to be more spiritual simply because they understood this principle. How to visualize these powerful forms of truth. If you ever wanted to draw sacred geometry, you must get the correct rulers, half circle rulers, and what have you. But remember, we said, lean not on the physical world, for it exists not. Lean more into what is not physical. This is very, very important. Now, everybody, focus on the center of the geometry. Focus on the center of it. The center is going to reveal something to you. It's going to be different for everybody. Do not type what you think the center is going to reveal to you. Don't type it. Be about it. It only will reveal something to you when you've inspected how to even construct it to begin with. That's why I said inspect it and analyze it. How is it made? A circle and another circle and another circle and another circle. That's in its most practical form, something that you can use as a foundation to understand what you're looking at. Once you've fully and perfectly figured out the construction of this geometry, it's like back engineering. Then move your attention to the center of it. When you focus now on the center of this geometry, then DNA strands will be activated. It is that simple. It is that simple. Then DNA strands is activated. Because remember, from the center, the creation is born. That's why I use the term back engineering. Because we did it in the back engineering way. Because the way humans' philosophy is humans understand things more when they back engineer things. That's why, for example, the government hired Bob Lazar. That's why, for example, the government hired Bob Lazar to back engineer an alien spacecraft, or what they consider to be alien. Because humans process much more information when they back engineer it, because they're actually figuring it out how it works. So once you analyze this, you focus on the center of it. And I'm still showing you this because you have to be able to visualize this. Because the next technique that is coming up is going to be visualizing what you're seeing now. So this is an answer for a test. And when the test presents itself, the answer will still be there. Because remember, God is always there. But it's going to be a little blurry if you let doubt get in the way. Never let doubt get in the way, children of the light. Doubt is going to be the reason why nothing happens. Because as you bring forth, when you doubt, if you doubt, what have you, you'll experience immediate resetting. In your etheric notebook page, I need all of you to write. So close your eyes, children of the light. We're now beginning the test. This is a test of spiritual integrity. This is a test of spiritual power. The answer is in front of you, but now you have all been commanded to close your eyes. Will you cheat? Don't fail in front of God now. Now you close your eyes and you keep them closed. One of your spirit teams came to me. It was a singular being that we know isn't so singular, for all is one. And that being says, if I was them, I would just turn my phone over so I don't accidentally cheat. I said, hey, that's funny, I'm included. This is a test of spiritual integrity and visualization. I'm giving y'all the OAA in the start of the class. You know how the schools give you the OAA at the end of the school? No. We're giving you it at the start. Because right now we need masters and not students. I don't want y'all to be students any longer. You must be masters. Because that is where the world is headed. So right now it's a test of spiritual integrity. You have been commanded to close your eyes and visualize the seed of life as you've seen it. Open your eyes not, for if you open your eyes, you have failed. And you must reset, for the opening of your eyes means you've doubted. So right now, we're actually in alignment with perfect patience, one of the divine laws. Open your eyes and you doubt. So in your etheric notebook page, I need you all to write. But didn't you just say you want us to visualize the sacred geometry? Now you're saying you want us to visualize the etheric notebook page? Expand your perspective, children of the light. You can do multiple things at once. So now, instead of you having a limited space in your etheric realm, your ethers, for example, as you close your eyes, you're in the ethers. As if you are a camera, back up, and now you have more space. Visualize yourself as the cameraman. Keep your eyes closed. Do not cheat. For if you cheat, you have doubted. Opening the eyes means you have doubted, and you have failed, and you must reset. Remember, the best way to not fail this test is literally turn the phone over and just listen to the words. Act as if you are a cameraman. This is going to be the best way you visualize. If you pretend to be a cameraman, you have the power to zoom in and out. Now, zoom out. Now you have room on the left or the right side, above or below, to create that same etheric notebook page. And whilst you're doing that, hold on to that. You only need to create two things right now. The etheric notebook page and this seed of life. Remember, as a tip, because God loves you and it will always guide you, but it never will take control of your life, for you must live your own life. But we will guide you. Remember, the seed of life is actually one of the easiest forms of sacred geometry. That's why it's the seed, it's the beginning. In every mystery school, they will teach of this. It's just circles. That's your tip. It's just circles layered on top of each other, specifically in positions. On that etheric notebook page that you have created, I don't want to hear that, child of the light. You have created it. Keep your eyes closed. On that etheric notebook page, I need you to write, I want you to write, or it serves for you to write whatever terminology you see as serving. Write doubt, D-O-U-B-T, doubt, D-O-U-B-T, equal sign, doubt, D-O-U-B-T, equal sign, reset, R-E-S-E-T. Doubt equals reset. I need you on that etheric notebook page. And when you're dealing with the ethers and you're dealing with thought form energy, keep those eyes closed. When you're dealing with the ethers and you're dealing with thought form energy, it's best to keep words and sentences short, because you, as a human, since you're utilizing these techniques, have a limited amount of etheric capacity. You don't want to overexert yourself and use too much energy making a long sentence paragraph. Make it very simple. Doubt on this etheric notebook page, D-O-U-B-T, equal sign, reset, R-E-S-E-T. Now bring your focus to visualizing intensely the seed of life, sacred geometry. Do not say it's hard, child of the light. It is not. For the subconscious never says no to you. So the moment you say something, it says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. It is easy. Say it is easy until it becomes easy. This is not even spiritual, child of the light. This is psychology. I can send you the university that made the study. Do not claim that things is hard. Always, even if you don't believe them to be hard. Remember, belief is not so. I have no faith nor belief in the source, for I know in the source. We must operate out of knowingness. And the truth is, how can anything be hard if you have it all already? If you have it all already, then you have completed what you consider to be hardships in the first place. So do not say it's hard. Visualize. And we'll give the tip once more. Circles on top of circles within a circle. And all of the circles are in specific positions. That's a reforming of the same words of the same tip. All right. Open your eyes only. Only. I didn't just say open your eyes. Hold on. Keep them closed. Open your eyes only if you have completed this test of visualizing the seed of life. If you have not, this is a call for you to have perfect patience. You will get it because you have already gotten it. Did you hear me not when I said this is the completion of our soul agreement together? From long, long years ago and what you would consider to be timelines. We've done this before. Remember that conversation. Remember who I was all those years ago. Remember who I was all those years ago. Remember who you are now. The same person. The same soul. For the ones that have opened your eyes, for the ones that have opened their eyes, be in silence. Take deep breaths. 3-3-3, 3-3-7, 14-14, 14. Those are all breathing patterns. As we wait for everybody to keep their eyes closed and then eventually open once they've visualized this seed of life, breathe in for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 3 seconds, exhale for 3 seconds. Or you can do breathe in for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 3 seconds, exhale for 7 seconds. Or you can do breathe in for 14 seconds, hold your breath for 14 seconds, exhale for 14 seconds. For those that have questions on how we can remember such times of quote-unquote before, understand all is right now. So an easy way to remember before is to pay attention to right now. Unlock that, download that light key code, and you'll find far more answers than the question that you even presented. All right. Remember, for the ones that have opened their eyes, breathe in for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 3 seconds, exhale for 3 seconds, or breathe in for 3 seconds, hold your breath for 3 seconds, exhale for 7 seconds. Or breathe in for 14 seconds, hold your breath for 14 seconds, exhale for 14 seconds. 3-3-3, 3-3-7, 14-14, 14. For all that have now opened their eyes, and if there are any that still are struggling, state this in your mind's eye. I struggle not. I struggle not with anything I've already completed. And so it is. And even for the ones that completed it, as you breathe, state this in your mind's eye. I struggle not with anything I've already completed. And so it is. I struggle not with anything I've already completed. Now, there's a very, very ancient technique that you can utilize, which is you can utilize the sound frequency of my voice to disguise it as your thoughts. Remember, you can never be possessed, but you can be influenced. You can allow this voice to influence how your brain works only for that intention, which is, I struggle not with anything I've already completed. And so it is. I struggle not with anything I've already completed. And so it is. This is a truth that will set you free. For the divine law is everything is already done. As above, so below. So if everything is already completed, that means you will struggle with nothing. I struggle not with anything I've already completed. And so it is. All right, everybody, make sure your eyes are now open. If your phones is turned over, turn your phones over. Now pay attention to the screen. Look at the sacred geometry once more before we continue. After you've gotten one good glimpse of it once more, type 33s in the chat so we can now continue on to the next phase. Type 33s in the chat so we can now continue on to the next phase. I will wait for every single person to type 33. And we will not continue until every single person type 33. You can now open your eyes, glance upon the seed of life once more, and type 33 in the chat so we can now begin the next phase. I will not continue until every person types 33 in the chat. And whilst we wait, I'm going to give y'all a round of applause. Claps heard all around the world. Let's see here. Make sure you type 33s in the chat so we can continue on to the next phase. Make sure you type 33s in the chat. Now, everybody, in your mind's eye, go back into the ethers, close your eyes, and visualize 33. Visualize 33. Close your eyes, everyone, and visualize the two symbols. 3 and 3 next to each other. Because they're not numbers, they're symbols. Now we're going to be getting into the Egyptian mysteries. The Kemet mysteries. The Atlantean mysteries. And the Lemurian mysteries. Now we're going to be getting into the Egyptian mysteries. The Kemet mysteries. The Atlantean mysteries, and the Lemurian mysteries. So, as your eyes are closed, visualize 33. Keep those eyes closed, do not open them. Go into the ethers as you close your eyes, you're in the ethers. Visualize 33. The two symbols, they are not numbers. They're symbols. Now we're going to do a little bit of multiplication, people. I need you to visualize. I want you to visualize and or see it serving or not. To visualize, whatever terminology works for you, 33, those symbols, X, in between them. So break it down. Visualize 33. Visualize an X between them. Find the sum. That's the test now. Find the sum. That's the test now. Visualize 33, the symbols. Visualize an X between them. Now find the sum. The sum is one of the most known and unknown powerful symbols that you will ever utilize on this planet. The sum is one of the most powerful symbols that you will ever utilize on this planet. The moment you connect that sum with symbology as a symbol rather than a number, another DNA strand will activate. In mystery schools, they weren't taught mathematics, they were taught this. They were taught symbology, not mathematics. They were taught symbology. If you want to coin a label or term with it. Now, specifically, the reasoning on why you're not seeing the flesh is because of the flesh, we are nothing. I need you to focus on hearing the voice, the frequency. Because now, as you stayed, this class isn't just one of physicality. We'll speak to you throughout the day after this live is over. Just open yourself up to listen to this voice, this energetic frequency. So I'm subconsciously getting you comfortable with just hearing the voice. And if you always are able and willing to visualize the seed of life, no being will ever manipulate this voice. It is not possible to imitate the Christ. It's only possible to look like the Christ. Again, it's possible to look like the Christ, but it's not possible to imitate it. So be comfortable with this. That sum is a very powerful symbol. Use manifestation with that symbol in mind. So as we created the symbol of the seed of life, now create the sum of the answer. Create that symbol that you find when you visualize 3, and an X between. The sum is the new symbol that you shall visualize. Now, remember, children of the light, do not erase the visualizations that came before. A lot of beings tend to think every time they close their eyes, it's a clean slate again. No, child of the light. Reconstruct your subconsciousness and your conscious mind to always have what you previously visualized to be there. This will mark the end temporarily of this portion of visualization. So the 3 things that you have to be comfortable with visualizing, child of the light, is the seed of life, sacred geometry that you see, the sum of 33 with the X in between, and your etheric notebook page, because that is where you take your notes. And every time you close your eyes, you have to be able to see those 3 things. Never close your eyes and just say, oh, it's black now. Clean slate. No. Because doubt, remember what we wrote on the etheric page. Let me see if you wrote it. What did we write on the etheric page? Type it in the comments. What did we write on the etheric page? Type it on the comments. I gave you the first word already. Doubt. What did we write on the etheric page? Type it in the comments. All students, type it in the comments. And all masters, type it in the comments. And at the end of this class, everyone shall be considered a master. All right, the Faith Walker, you might have to resend that. You're missing a letter. All right, Hania, you're missing the first two forms. You got the third one. You're missing the first two. What did we write on the etheric paper? All of you are on the right track. The Faith Walker, you got it. There you go. You got it. All students, what did we write on the etheric notebook page? Don't mind the dog. You know I have a husky. If you don't, now you know. He has the zoomies. Side note. What did we write on the etheric notebook page? Doubt equals reset. Anytime you close your eyes, children of the light, and you only see blackness, you have doubted. So in that breath, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and reconstruct your visualization. Every time you close your eyes, what you must see is that etheric notebook page and all that's written on it, the seed of life, and the sum of 33 with an X in between. All right. Here we are. I struggle not with anything I already completed. And so it is. All right. We love to see it. We love to see it. So before we dive deep into the next form and teaching, which is crystals and manifestation, believe it or not, know it or not, all of this is for that. You must know all of that just to manifest and use crystals, right? This is what they don't tell you. All right, so now that y'all got that good, okay, and I'm going to explain why you must know how to do these things and why we are diving deep into this visualization. Now, since we have our other student over here vocalizing, what he needs, one source sees us serving, just some food, more food. Food? Head turns. Let's get him some food. So in this moment, everyone breathe. In, hold breath, exhale. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 7, 14, 14, 14. Choose the breathing technique you see as serving. Take a relaxing. Don't do anything unless you have to reconstruct because you've seen blackness again. Just now relax. Allow everything to seep in, download in, as if you're doing yoga. Do yoga with your stomach. We have to make sure we allow ourselves room to seep all of this information in and download it in. We don't just want to rush on to the next segment too fast because visualization can be difficult for humans. We're not going to act like it isn't. That's why we're going to make sure when we breathe now, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 7, or 14, 14, 14, Now, create whatever intention. You have free reign now. Whilst we're breathing, whatever you want to do, whatever intention you want to have, hold on to it as you breathe now. But just remember, this breathing as a foundation is for making sure the download sits within us. Like, you know, that Thanksgiving meal, how they say it's always better the next day, because those flavors is now sat in. I need you to allow the flavors of today's teaching to sit within you. I'm breathing with you, so it's okay to breathe. Remember, I'm breathing with you. 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 It's okay to breathe. Remember, I'm breathing with you. It's okay to breathe. I'll be right back. Remember, I'm breathing with you. It's okay to breathe. I'll be right back. Remember, I'm breathing with you. It's okay to breathe. I'll be right back. Remember, I'm breathing with you. It's okay to breathe. I'll be right back. All right. It's pretty good. All right, pretty good. Okay, now everybody, let me know how you feel. Type in the comments how you feel. Type in the comments if something served for you specifically. Where is your consciousness right now? And this is our Q&A segment. So any questions you may have or any statement that you feel you must make, you can state and make it now. This is where y'all got it now. I finally can sit in the chair and see what y'all got going on. And for all the ones that are on YouTube, as we post this later on, type in the comments, especially for this part. So whatever the time is, timestamp,